cheese now. I think the roof of my mouth is cheese now. God help me.
2 Travis Scott meals, 1 for the lady and 1 for me. Oh yeah, you always talk about the wet ass pizza. You want a wet ass pizza? Looks like you got your wet ass pizza all over the kitchen.
Imagine being in a human centipede and the person you have to eat in front of you just keeps coming because they like it so much. They won't like love you for your personality because it's all so bad.
Well, yeah.
But like
That's naturally terrible.
they'll love you for something.
No,
that's
I'm not.
intertwined into the personality.
But like I'm not. But if the personality is not lovable and the looks aren't lovable,
yeah, you got to get
what's left?
like you do nice things for yourself.
Okay.
And they're like, that's nice that he like doesn't care about society's expectations for others and he just goes for himself. It's commendable. You could find something if someone truly loves you. When someone truly loves you.
Well, I don't think it's gonna happen.
You just got to give it time.
Time after time.
Time after time. You just got to sing more Cyndi Lauper. Right?
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper.
Mm-hmm.
And you will find me time after time. If you look, I will run. I will waiting time after time.
Hi, folks. Welcome to this fucking podcast. It's episode 174. I write it down now, so I know. What's up?
What's up?
Wait, what is this? Is this 7?
Yeah, 7
out of 10.
7 out of 10.
It's coming up quick.
It's gonna be.
And I cannot wait.
Oh yeah, we are.
Honestly, very.
We are watching this dog wander around the house, just shitting itself a little bit and dragging its legs, and we are just like, because we're like, if he's not better by Christmas, if this isn't his last Christmas, it's gonna be his last New Year, and it's like, oh,
brutal but true.
You're just watching him, and you're just sitting there with a gun, and you're like, I can't wait to shoot that dog.
Yeah, you're just polishing the gun.
Can you imagine being so pissed about like a dog's state that you're like, I can't wait to shoot that dog?
And you have kids, and they're like playing with the dog. Isn't even that
It's
sick.
perfectly fine.
You're like, I think its days are numbered. I hate to break it to you,
It's like a brand new dog.
drunk dad. I hate to break it to you, but I think I'm gonna have to murder that dog. I'm like, whoa, you could have said it better.
Hey, bud, I
just
hate to
saying.
break it to you, but I'm gonna take that dog out back and just shoot it and then
On a
run it
football
over.
dude's head's brains are gonna be everywhere. I'm gonna clean it up.
My brain's gonna get everywhere. I'm gonna need you to bring me the hose attachment and the beer.
Yeah. And don't mix them up. If that dog gets any more of my beer, I'm gonna be pissed.
If that dog drinks one more drop of my beer, I'm gonna murder its fucking brains out.
But Dad, you taught it to open the fridge, grab the beer, bring it over to you. I'm like, yeah,
I
it's
didn't
for
teach him
America's
to
Funniest Home
drink it.
Videos. No one told me that's not really a thing anymore. It's all the YouTubes and the Facebooks.
Yeah, I put it up on the YouTubes and it got 17 views.
So I'd like to think it's going pretty viral, as the kids say.
Yeah.
I put it on TikTok and I was arrested immediately. A video of me shooting a dog available on TikTok now, folks. Welcome. Go to www.dapperdadspodcast.com. There's nothing like what I just said there. There's honestly nothing because I stopped updating it a while ago. And I don't care. I have checked out. I hit my tooth with the microphone, and I hate it. I hate hitting my teeth. Teeth feel so fragile. Like, what if I just...
They are
What if I
bones.
did it and it just broke? That would really
Like your
fuck
tooth?
up my whole morning.
Your tooth or the microphone?
Which one do you think I'm more attached to?
The microphone.
The microphone that I have another one up at my house?
Yes.
Or the tooth that I have several hundred up in a drawer in my house? I switch them out. You know how people have gold tooths? I just have old tooths. They're
Switch
old
them up like
tooths.
switching flows.
Yeah,
Just switching
just
up
like-
teeth.
Yeah, I want to feel nice. You know what I mean? We can't go out. I got all these shoes. I got all this shit.
I got all
I'm
these
just
teeth.
at my house feeling pretty. I need to put different teeth in.
Get one of
try
those
them out.
Amir Van Grill things going on where it's just like 3/4 of the teeth.
Yeah, and it's just I just put teeth over teeth. Imagine if you've
Can you
seen
imagine if you saw a man and his grill was just more
Other man's
teeth?
I would love that. I would. I think we should start that business on Etsy. Just sell. Grills?
Teeth grills, tooth grills.
Are they just dentures essentially?
Now,
I don't want.
no,
I hate
no,
when I have a good idea. and you
It's
realize,
dentures that go over your regular teeth, like a
Right.
grill for
but
more
some
teeth.
dentures go over like pieces of teeth and like.
Right.
You know what I
So
mean?
we should get like
That
a
and then
grill
just
like that.
stuff 'em
Because
in.
you know when you see those custom grills that are like
Could you imagine how crazy I would look if I had my mouth closed and then I just smiled and it was clearly just teeth
more
over
teeth,
my teeth?
like it looks like
I
braces,
go to the
but it's
dentist
teeth.
and I'm like, "What's up? How are my fronts doing?"
I-
Folks, Folks, help us. This is a cry for help at this point.
I just pictured your mouth opening, and it's just like rows of teeth, rows of teeth, rows of teeth.
Like all the way back to my throat?
like infinite rows of teeth, and you're like, hey.
I chew everything. I'm chewing this with my teeth.
That is one of that's one of my like
all right, we're done
things
here.
Is like mouths full of like where they have like the teeth on the roof of their mouths and shit.
I'm also afraid of very unrealistic, irrational things.
No, it's not like I'm afraid of getting it. I just don't like looking at it. Like I'm just like, oh, that's wrong.
I didn't even mean getting it. I mean, you go to the bar and the bartender's like, why can I get you? And you see that they just have teeth forever. I love when people are like, I'm afraid of a thing that can never happen. It's
no,
funny.
I mean, you've seen it where like kids are like born fucked up and they got like a palate full of teeth.
Recently where a kid had a tooth removed and they removed like 75 teeth behind it. Like they just kept pulling teeth out. I don't know. I think it had like swollen full of teeth, if I have to say. My medical expertise says the kid had a severe case of swollen full of teeth.
Sounds fucking brutal. It's going to be the first death metal album we put out on the Dapper Dads label.
Could you imagine as a dentist just pulling out a teeth and you probably get to like 10 and you're like, Jesus Christ, can't get any crazier than this.
Get to 35.
Yeah, you're like, this can't keep going.
52. 66.
Dentist is just crying and not believing in God anymore. And then re-believing in God.
Would you believe in God if you pulled 75 teeth out of a kid?
He re-believes in God at the end because he's like, wow. Only a powerful God would allow that many teeth to be swollen in a children's mouth.
Only a God with a perfect vision of creation.
You die and you go to heaven. I know. I know. And
yeah,
God,
let's just pretend.
And you meet God and Jesus, and they just have rows of teeth.
Aren't they the same?
That. We've been over this, and surprisingly, neither of us are sure.
I know. I'm
some
sure
radical
it's
ideas.
the fidget spinner thing. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Because it's one God.
But we killed Jesus, and then God was up there letting it happen.
Because Jesus was the human representation of the Holy Spirit.
I don't know if any of this is accurate. I can't confirm or deny.
It's Sunday. We got to get a little bit of God talk in.
And I hate it. My Sundays are bad. I'm so tired and sick.
You need to just eat a lot.
Hold on. Call 4027-DAPPER. That's 4027-327-737. Text it to. No one's going to do it. You're almost out of time. Do a submission. It's pretty likely that other submissions won't get so crippled like the last one did by technology. Email dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com. We did get an email. We will be reading it. Follow us on Twitter at dapperdads. Why? Why would you at this point?
Why wouldn't you?
Already? Follow us on Instagram at dapperdadspodcast. The same thing. I had a top-notch freaking out session yesterday.
Okay.
Like, it's probably the craziest one I've had, and I would like to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
Because I thought I was going to lose my fucking mind. I think it was worse. So I drank Friday night. I didn't get great sleep. I slept for a decent amount of time.
You were up early on Saturday because you were tweeting about that Green Day thing.
Yeah. Everybody listened to Dookie. I listened to it again on the way here. The drums are just incredible. And there was a time where we weren't allowed to listen to Green Day. You know what I mean? It was like uncool. And then you go back and you're like, that was fucking great.
I do this probably like 2 or 3 times a year. I go back and listen to some Green Day and I'm like, why the fuck did I ever stop? This is so
That's
good.
got to be one of the best like debut albums of all time. Like, and just the drums start with like what the fuck is the first song? I always forget the names of the songs, but just the right away. That's the first thing you hear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's fucking go. Yeah. I woke up and put the Dookie vinyl on and really got after it.
Good for you.
But yeah, I feel like I got enough sleep. I went to bed probably around midnight, got up at 7. I can't sleep in. I don't know if I ever will again until I die.
Sad. I love sleeping in.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I wake up at 7. Last time I slept in was when I talked to someone in a garage until 6 in the morning. And that day I slept till 1 p.m. That is
wild.
Holy shit. I didn't think the world was real. I woke up and no one was in my house and I couldn't like get a hold of anyone. And I was like, is this like a last man on earth thing? Did I perfectly time it by talking to that garage until 6 in the morning?
And then sleeping
and now I'm
through
the
rapture.
only one. I wonder if they're also still alive and it's just me and him. Yeah, I can't sleep in. And I felt like all right when I woke up, better than you'd think I would. And then I drank coffee. I got a Starbucks coffee. I was running some errands. I started to feel like it could happen. And then I know this is the main mistake, and this is probably what people will point to. But
so
I like
how
to
many
figure
coffees
out,
did you have in the morning?
I think I only had like 2 cups at my house. I usually do 2 or 3 cups every day.
So you had 2 cups at the house and a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Starbucks I drink for like quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't just like get in and... Because when I drink the coffee in the morning after a night of drinking, I'm like almost chugging it. But yeah, I was drinking this coffee for like quite some time because I had to like go a bunch of places. And yeah, I was starting to feel it. And then, yeah, this is the mistake I make. I don't want to hear about that. I want to understand why it happens. All I want from this podcast is people to tell me what's wrong with me. And it's crazy that no one does. I also want money and accolades and recognition.
Yeah, but I would also like to know what the fuck is wrong with me.
Importantly, yeah, I tell you guys about my ass and no one's like, here's an answer. Someone has to have the answers. But I came home and I smoked a cigarette and like lighting it, it was just like, and I was
that your first cigarette of the day?
Yeah. And... So I know the cigarettes is a part of it, and it was brutal. Because I feel like when it happens here, or if I have something to focus on, then it's not as intense.
Right.
And if it happens here, it's kind of fun because at this point, I'm like kind of sick of doing this. So any other like little change, you know what I mean? It like makes me have to actually work for it because I'm secretly losing my life. And yesterday I was just like, I have nothing really to do. And I'm like, I was talking, and then I thought I was for sure going to faint. And I thought I was going to barf. It was like everything. And it's just like rushes. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm drinking water because I feel like that would help.
Okay.
I had eaten too. That's the other thing. I got food at Starbucks. Normally I don't eat, and I always think that might be a part of the problem. I ate the hottest wraps. They make these.
They make the food so hot.
Forever. I don't know if I've ever even enjoyed one because it's just hot.
It's so hot for so long.
I had one that was hot my entire ride here. Like... why do I even get this? Why do you do this to me? Do you hate me?
Because your food needs to be cooked, God damn it.
Yeah, and the one I got yesterday, the shell was even like overcooked. I'm like, so I know before I even get
What's worse is I know how they cook the food at Starbucks. They just unwrap it from the freezer and throw it in like an oven thing.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for it to be that hot.
I know. Who is this for? Is it for the person commuting an hour to work and then wants to eat once they get to the office? That's what it feels like.
Try having a Starbucks in your workplace and then you get a sandwich to eat on a break.
Yeah,
and
you're just fucked.
You're just fucked. You can't even eat it till like the end of the day.
Or like cut the fucker in half so it can breathe in the middle.
Just something.
I got to take that hot corner bite and then it's just like shooting steam out. Like I know that.
You're sitting there like
blowing into the wrap. Yeah, you do the.
Oh, I hate that so much.
And that's what I mean. So that's how I eat the whole thing. And then I'm like, I don't even know why I did that.
Like my tongue is burned now.
That.
It sucks.
It's like it tastes kind of good, but it mostly is just a struggle.
You ever burn the roof of your mouth or your tongue while you're eating food and then proceed to eat the rest of the hot food very fast because you know it's just going to be ruined if you don't?
It's honestly one of my biggest problems is I frequently burn my mouth. I don't like waiting. And I know this is a very childish and stupid thing to say from a man who was born in the 40s. You think I would be used to it. Because back then, food was never warm. And I think that's the problem.
That's why everybody was so mad all the time.
But like once I cook a pizza, I want to start
I want the
eating
pizza right now the second it comes out of the oven.
Time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's taken like 20 minutes. And I made a pizza because I was hungry. Now I'm 20 minutes more hungry.
Right.
I want it. And some pizzas feel like they're built to just stick molten hot cheese to the roof of your mouth.
Right.
Have you ever had it where you like got to get in there with your hand?
Right, because like you try to like suck it down with like your tongue
eating
really quick.
with a loved one who's having a normal time and pacing themselves and maybe blowing on. And I'm like, I think I'm cheese now. I think the roof of my mouth is cheese now. God help me. There is no God. I'm dying. I just wanted pizza.
It has to be so nice. Just having a calm weekday night dinner in your house.
I know. I had someone recently tell me I'm so cool and calm and collected, and I almost passed out from laughter. Because I'm like, yeah, imagine eating a pizza with me, and I am pretty like chill at my house.
I mean, yeah,
as everyone is. This is all a gimmick, but you could be sitting next to me, and I start screaming because.
Suddenly my mouth is cheese. My body is cheese now. Starting with the roof of my mouth. And then you're angry
at the food?
Yeah.
Like if this food was a person, I would shoot it in the face in front of its
And you're like, who made this pizza so hot?
Yeah. And you go through like the 7 stages of grief because you're like, I'm angry And then you're like, I'm sad. And then eventually you get to
Then you're bargaining. You're like, well, maybe if my mouth is cheese, I'll never have to get extra cheese on anything ever again.
Yeah, because you're like, my mouth is already burnt, so I really can't
Everything
burn
will be
it
slightly
more.
cheesy.
And then you
Denial.
burn it.
There's no way the roof of my mouth is cheese now. There's no way. It's not physically possible for the roof of my mouth to be cheese. But why is there so much cheese up there?
Yeah, and you run it with your tongue, and it's like skin is coming off.
With the cheese, and you're,
like a dog that has peanut butter.
But with skin and cheese.
And then eventually you accept it and you eat the pizza and you're like, I'm never going to get that pizza again. And then you get the pizza again.
Yeah.
Because some of them, like a DiGiorno, those ones that are always like real wet and sloppy.
Oh, that's the worst. I hate that. That is probably my biggest, like, your face right now is like, thank you. Because like, I hate pulling it out of the oven. And I go to take I cut it, and the fucking cutter gets soaked while you're cutting this stupid fucking pizza.
And it just takes all the cheese.
It takes all the fucking cheese. And you're like,
how is this so wet? It's not even grease. It's just
sauce. Why is the dough so
goddamn for like 5
wet?
or 10 minutes to like set, and then you cut it, and it's still a problem, and it's still so hot.
It's still so hot and wet in the middle.
Shit like this might be the only reason I'm still your friend, is because I like my girl. I'll be like, this is such a wet pizza, and she's like, I don't really notice. And you're like,
there's no way you. She's lying to you. She's lying to you because there's no way you don't notice a wet pizza.
Wet?
You know, it is a wet pizza.
How would it be wet? And I'm like, I know, right? I'm trying to get to the bottom of it too, not have you be a fucking dick.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have you
it's
be
wet. It is. I'm not saying it's like water.
I'm not saying like,
saying it's grease.
I'm not saying like the pizza was soaked. It's not like a dipped Italian beef sandwich. It's just the top of the pizza is just like a bog of dough and cheese and grease.
Those are the ones where the cheese will fix to your
fuck
mouth.
You. I stopped buying DiGiorno pizzas because of that specific reason.
They're always like sweet. Like I feel like it tastes cinnamon or something.
No, I don't taste cinnamon, but I feel like there's a lot of sugar in the sauce or the dough or something.
Like, why did we do this?
Why do I want a sweet wet pizza? And then people are like, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
It's not delivery, it's a sweet wet pizza.
It's a sweet wet pizza. It's gonna fuck up your utensils, fuck up your mouth, and really at the end of it, fuck up your whole day.
Yeah, and then, but that's the thing is, their box looks the best. You see that pizza on the box, and you're like, I want that.
And then you get
Jack's can't make a Jack's pizza look good. No. We all know what it is. You get it, and you're like, I wish I had a Jack's.
Like you get the Jack's cheese curds pizza, and you're like, this is just more cheese on the pizza.
I don't know what anyone was thinking with that. I don't know if I'm the only one that has my head screwed on tight enough to understand that that's not going to be groundbreaking or good.
Right. It's not going to be conducive to anything. It's just a pizza.
How I always complain that we try to like just make things that we've had forever, change them and do weird shit to them. And I'm like, just do the thing. It's clearly worked. We've enjoyed pizza for like, what, 25 years pizza's been around?
Like, the only way you can improve mozzarella sticks is making them bigger or giving me more of them. Like, I don't need mozzarella sticks on something. I don't need some.
Then we're like, we also put red peppers in the mozzarella sticks. And you're like, no, that's not what I want.
I just want a normal.
Why do we do this?
That is probably one of my biggest pet peeves is when you go to, like, restaurants you, like, don't usually go to or, like, places you've never been. And you're like, I'll get the burger because you're like, a burger, you can't fuck up a burger. And then they're like, you mean our house burger with butter lettuce and beet radish and
avocado, a spicy slaw,
spicy slaw made out of spicy mango habanero slaw straight from the heat of the jungle.
There's words I don't even know. I gotta ask people I'm with what the fuck this is.
Right, they're giving me a sriracha Jamaica slaw, and I'm like, what does that even mean?
Aioli? What's aioli?
It's like mayonnaise without eggs.
Yeah, this is only making me more angry.
It's just like
Listen
oil.
To two guys argue about food. Not argue, just do that thing where people would think we're arguing, but we're yelling in agreement because we're so fucking angry. And then have you ever had it where you're like,
friendship.
Can I get that burger maybe minus the areola and the spicy slaw? And they're like, oh, we actually don't do any substitutions.
No substitutions. And you're like, but then if he's just making a burger, like
just do less work.
Yeah, just make a burger, put it on a plain bun.
Money and you do less work. And they're like, he's a signature chef. And you're like, for what?
For what?
Has he signed
this weird food?
Yeah, that happens to me. And I say it all
ravioli
the time.
That's stuffed with pumpkin flour and lobster eyes. And you're like,
lobster eyes do make everything a little better.
I mean, especially with the pumpkin flour, if it's sauced correctly. It's got to be a white sauce. Can't have a red sauce with your pumpkin flour lobster eye ravioli.
And I feel like if we keep going with it, it's only going to get Like, what are we going to be eating? Am I going to be able to get
raviolis,
a meatball sandwich, or are you going to...
I was going to say, you want to know what I think doesn't give us beards? www.patreon.com/dapperdadads. Pay the money, get the thing. I don't think we can grow beards because we grew up eating a lethal combination of Subway meatball subs and Mountain Dew.
How much Mountain Dew did you drink in your life?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I felt like...
Quite a bit.
I think probably because I drank so much that I'm always like, well, no one could even come close to me.
The only... I don't know.
But the answer is that no one should have ever drank it.
Well, because my mom used to buy like 12 packs and I would just like drink through them in like a day or two.
Yeah,
you know,
that's how it was in my
The only reason she stopped buying them for me as a teenager was because I switched over to Arizona's because she stopped buying Mountain Dew because my cousin was drinking like a cube a day and like not brushing his teeth, and like weeks later he like had all the teeth rotting out of his head. Like he just like had cavities and like his teeth were all fucked up and shit, and they're just like, okay, yeah, no more Mountain Dew.
And then
for
they
you.
pulled 75 teeth out of
They pulled 75 teeth out of my cousin's face, which killed the dentist's belief in God, but then also reaffirmed it in such a strong way. He made God's Not Dead 3.
Yeah. I mean, Mountain Dew is... It's crazy when you think the fact that it exists and like you just drink it as a kid, or like we did.
Well, it's because every morning my dad would wake up, go to the gas station, get himself a coffee and a Mountain Dew. And then Mountain Dew Code Red came out, and that changed his freaking life because he was like, oh, it's good. It's like a cherry.
Yeah, the parallels between our fathers is also... there's something to be said
There's
about it.
something to be said, and it's weird.
Probably
yeah.
nothing.
It creates men like us.
Could be. Yeah, because my dad never drank coffee. He hates it. He just woke up. And I mean, I've said it before, but when you hear a can of pop crack open at 8 a.m.,
it's fucked up.
It should be illegal.
It's like hearing a beer at 8 a.m.
They should kick in the door. Like the SWAT team should come in and raid
crash
the house
through the
for
ceiling.
fucking Mountain Dew. And yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Did you ever hear? I feel like we probably talked about it, but fuck it. Mountain Dew kills your sperm. Was that ever a thing you heard as a kid?
I think we talked. It's either a rumor that I heard or like.
It was for sure a rumor that I heard, but it's one of those things you hear and you're like, yeah, probably.
I was always told coffee stunts your growth, and I drank coffee all the time, and I don't think it did anything.
Or yeah, I guess I did hear that because I started drinking coffee when I was like 14.
Yeah.
13 or 14.
Same.
And yeah, cigarettes stunt your growth. Well, clearly you could be the case study for nothing.
Can you?
But you were supposed to be 7 feet tall.
I would say, what if cigarettes and coffee did stunt your growth?
Cigarettes earlier. Get you a little down in the normal range.
I had a
dream.
dream.
You don't stand out in public.
I had a dream and you were in it, and there was a bunch of cigarettes there for some reason, but they weren't like in packs.
Was I freaking out?
No. Traditionally, yeah, you were freaking the fuck out. You were screaming at everybody like a big old bird.
Yeah.
Just not even words, just angry yelling. But no, it was like a cubby hole thing, like on its side.
Rattle.
Like one of these if it had all 6, but like on its side, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like, you know, the old
Slim's motioning into a blow up doll.
You know the cigar boxes that you used to get that had like the kind of lid that just clasped on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that, but they were full of cigarettes, and then we had a bunch of other loose cigarettes that were like bigger cigarettes than normal. They were just like
300s.
They weren't. No, they were like. But okay, you know when you see like the stupid joke joints that people have at parties where they're like this big,
and
it's like
really
a 25 gram joint,
yeah,
and they're like using
really
a leaf blower with it, and then they're like holding
yeah,
it.
these are really cool parties. You know? And you're like, I hope before I leave, this man dies in front of me.
Right. If I had a nickel every time I thought that at a party.
I should have made that meme that's going around with the party, the guy in the corner. And been like, I hope everyone dies in front of me before I leave. Because that's how I feel at parties, allegedly. I haven't been to one in 6 years.
Yeah, it's been 42 years since we've been to a party.
We don't get invited.
No, nobody likes us. It's a big problem.
Yeah, it's honestly taking a toll on my mental health.
Yeah, same. Part of the
same.
Part of the only reason that we're friends is because all we have is each other. And then I disappear somehow.
Yeah, you just lean into the chair, like, get out. Did he sneak into a chair?
No, I go like this, and I disappear, but just the clothes stay, but not the underwear.
Well, that's good. I'm like, that's good. I hope he has underwear.
I suddenly nightcrawler back and throw my underwear at you.
Stuck in the wall over there.
Like
it's almost like he's still here. You're like, I am. am and I'm dying.
I am and I'm dying. Help me.
That seems like something he would say.
Take care of my cat.
Yeah, that thing hates me. And you wonder why. Do you think it's because I come over and yell in your house once a week?
I think it is, yeah.
A lot of people's kids hate me for the same reason.
A lot of people's wives hate me for the same reason. Am I right? The old ball and chain, get rid of her.
No,
we're buddies. We used to go out and drink and have fun, remember?
Wives love me because I only talk shit immediately behind their back.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm always with the wives in the kitchen, and I'm like, so I heard.
That you're a bitch. And they're like, whoa. And I'm like, sorry,
I heard.
I'm new to gossip. Who do I talk about? Me? I heard. I jerked off this morning.
I heard I jerked off and thought about you this morning because I knew I was coming over for dinner tonight. Whoa.
I need to get one out. I didn't want anything to be weird.
Whoa. I don't know why I told you that. I just feel so comfortable with you. It's like, what is this between us? Can we do we even need to put a label on? Let's not put a label on it. Let's keep it fun for each other. Let's just keep it right for each other.
Yeah, let's keep it right for
Meanwhile, you are right there next to your wife.
I was going to say smoking a beer. That's how angry I am. I'm smoking a beer and drinking
The beer is smoking because your hand is so hot.
Lighting it like when you smoke weed out of a pop can.
Oh.
Just inhaling beer. It works really well. I'm like, I'm not even mad. I'm fucking hammered.
Did I ever tell the story about when I tried to drink bong water on here?
I believe so, but
why not?
Have at it. I like to get the bong and go to the top.
Yeah, I know how to do it.
Yeah, I think this is almost verbatim. I don't even remember where your story is, but I love when we're like, I think we've talked about it, and then as we're making the exact same jokes without even thinking about it, we're like, oh, we're really, I don't know if it's on brand or we just...
Or it's on brand and we're honing it in.
We have a joke about everything, and we just have that one. And anytime it's brought up in public, we get to air it out. And hopefully no one is ever around twice in a row. And they're like, wait, I think you've made the same bong joke. And then I'm like, I'm going to have to fucking kill you.
I'm going to have to kill you. I'm
literally going to have to make sure you die.
I'm literally going to take your body and I'm going to wrap it up in a carpet and throw it in the river. That's how fucking dead you are.
Whoa, I'm about to wrap this. I need an instrumental. Then, yeah, go.
Monogram, mammogram. But no, I was with one of my exes and one of her friends, and we were smoking in her garage. And for some reason, I was dared to drink bong water. It just came up. We were doing something.
That always happens.
Yeah, it always happens. And I specifically remember.
And everyone's like, we're old.
I can remember the song that was playing too, because I remember I was like, I'm gonna wait for this one part of the song to. Yeah, that's what started playing as I was.
Remember how it sounds.
How crazy would that be if when you almost died to two phones, you were driving by the house where I was drinking the bong water and we both heard two phones at once?
You think
that's the plot for Tenet?
Makes a lot of sense now, but it doesn't.
You and me, that's the whole thing. Bong water, almost dying in a car.
That's Tenet. Is you go and it's a movie you've joked about making. And you're like, whoa, this is intense.
Yeah, because everybody gets their own version of Tenet.
And they're like, no, he refused to work with you guys. You said a lot of slanderous things about his McDonald's meal.
Whoa, I just said that I could order it anytime.
And he's like, sue him.
And it's like, well, it's clearly you can because he ordered it before.
I don't, you think with all the horror movies I watched, I would have an idea for a horror movie. I've always wanted to think of one. It'll probably never be made, but I'm like, you think I'd have an idea. The only thing I've ever wanted is that type of scenario where an event happens and then it drives past the house. Because I've always been obsessed since I was young, and I don't want this to sound weird, but with the idea that you walk by people's houses and they could be doing anything. And it's always, and it still does. You see a window open and you catch a glimpse of a person and you're like, it's so crazy that they're just in there
existing,
doing something completely unrelated. They could be chopping up a body. They could be fucking a bitch. They could be eating a pizza and getting hot cheese stuck to their mouth. You know what I mean? It's you don't know what's going on in there. And I've always been fascinated with the idea of someone doing something super bad in the house and you just walk by and they're chopping up a body in the basement. Anyway. Not my house.
Never in my house. No, I remember. No,
I just even hear of it.
No, I went to go I basically just went to go chug the bong water, and the second it touched my throat, it tasted so very vile and bad that I spit it all over my girlfriend's face and winter coat and everything else. And yeah.
That's nice.
Luckily, it was at her house, so she got to go in and change and do everything else immediately.
Did you try to wipe her off and then honk her boobs?
Yeah,
press her face real hard.
Wiped her off, and then I was like, "That's a good girl."
You hate to have to watch it happen in a garage.
Yeah, you hate to have to be her. You hate to have to be her friend watching me do that.
Yeah, and you're like, I wonder if I should say something, and she's like, just don't say anything.
Just don't even do it.
We're working on it, but I'm working on it. He's not working.
He's not working on
He's not
anything.
working.
He's not working. He's just, this isn't working. He's not working. I'm not
He
working.
said he just needs some time to find himself, but he does want me to keep paying for everything.
He says he needs some time to find himself, and he would like it if he doesn't care if I see other people, but he will yell at me if he sees me with somebody else. But he's gonna bring girls over, and he's still gonna live here, and he's still gonna use my car, and he's gonna fuck the girls here in the car, and in my bed, and on my furniture.
He bought me a sleep mask
because it's all my stuff.
And he asked if I could pay him back for it.
He's like, but he said he promised he'll get me something really nice on Thursday. He'll take me out to eat at McDonald's or something. But that's
two Travis Scott meals.
2 Travis Scott meals, one for the lady and one for me.
Straight up.
And this card is declined. Oh, I guess just one Travis Scott meal for me then.
She can have the fries.
She can have the fries with the barbecue sauce.
That little bag of fries where you're like, who's this for?
Small fries. It's the new ab lib.
Abalab.
Oh, Black Betty.
Manogram.
Oh, Black Betty.
Ambulance.
Mambulance.
Mambulance.
Oh, Black Betty.
I used to love Black Betty until that man tried to have sex with me.
What?
I know I've told this story.
I tried to fuck you because of Black Betty?
Yeah, it's a bold choice. At the Rue.
Ding!
The house explodes. It's not a house. It's a place of business. Place of worship. Don't look for it. It doesn't exist. Clearly. Why are we here still? He's fine. There
ain't no strings on me.
I was at the Rue, and there was a man. I don't want to throw the term sexual predator around.
Okay.
But there was a big man who would.
You don't want to, but you're gonna.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I'd say predator.
Can't
predatory
confirm
behavior.
or deny.
I don't know if he was sexual.
His vibe was very predatory.
I can confirm a couple things because he would hit on every man over the course of time.
Ah.
And the first time it happened.
At the church?
No, at Rue.
Yeah, the church.
The dungeon is the church. Rue is not a church. I've done some blasphemous things, if that's the case. And yeah, we were outside, me and a couple of pals, and we were a little drunk, and we were singing Black Betty, and we were stomping on the ground and clapping.
Yeah.
We were doing our own show outside. Because you know what you love? Coming up to a bar at 10:45 p.m. and 3 drunk grown men are clapping and stomping Black Betty. For anyone that's willing to listen.
The good old days.
And the only one who was willing to listen was this big man, and he came over, and I think he started stopping and clapping. And you know when you're doing something with your friend, someone else joins in, you're like, how fucking dare you think that you could stomp and clap Black Betty with us? Bamble lamb.
Pardon you, ma'am.
Because I think we were talking about how we should do it karaoke, but stomp and clap more than sing. Like sing as well, but not in the microphones, but a lot of stomping and clapping on that stage. And then, yeah, this man just got, like, pretty attached to our group, which is also one of my least favorite things.
Uh-huh.
And then we went inside, and we were up on the cool area. You know how it was. And he was just, like, buying drinks. And my one friend was, like, all about it. And the guy was like, do you want one? I was like, absolutely fucking not. Because he's buying, like, mixed drinks and, like, getting them. And, like, I don't do that shit.
Yeah,
not even
weird.
Just because it's a dude, like, from any person that I don't know. And he's just liquoring my buddy up. And then for like a long time, and me and Matt were standing there, and I was like, this guy's trying to fuck him. Like it's, and people were coming up to me, people that I knew from the Rue, and they were like, be careful, that guy is just trying to fuck any guy.
Yeah.
Like, just so you know. And like, I don't have a problem, go for it, but it gets like a little weird, like when you're just like pouring drinks into people, and he gets touchy. He put his finger through a gauge, which you can speak to being one of the most fun things that can happen to you, right? You just love more people. Hey, the podcast is ending, but he may or may not be publicly released afterwards. And if you see him, just sneak up behind him and pop a couple fingers.
If you
in.
touch
or
me, I'll fuck.
A hot dog. If you get a hot dog, it'd be perfect.
If you send me
a snuck up picture without his knowledge, sneaking a hot dog into his ear, I will Venmo you $40. No cap.
If you touch me, if anybody touches me, I'll beat the shit out of you in front of whoever you're with.
But what if the hot dog goes perfectly through the gauge and doesn't technically touch you? I'm just saying.
If anybody approaches me from
Venmo,
behind with a hot dog,
no
they're
Cash
dead.
App. And if you say Zelle, I'll block you. Who the fuck uses Zelle?
Zelle's on everything.
Anyway, so this man, and yeah, eventually he's like, let's go to the office, which for people who don't know is a gay nightclub.
Mm.
And my friend was like, oh no. And then, like, the guy was like, all right, well, when the bar closes, I'll come back and pick you up. Just like that, and left. My friend was like, that's so crazy. And then when we were leaving, that bar closed, the man was outside to pick my friend up. And I was like, oh, he's going to fuck him because I'm not going to fight this guy. And the guy was like, I thought we had an arrangement. And it was super weird. Then I don't even put this together. I'm there a New Year's Eve after, and I go up to the bar. I'm getting a drink for me and my girl who was with me. And I'm standing at the bar, and the guy is next to me. I don't put it together. And do that thing where you're just looking around. You look at each other and lock eyes and like a head nod. You stand next to each other. And then I opened up a can of a man trying to fuck me in the ass. Because he comes over, and he puts his hand on my shoulder, which I'm not a fan of. And he's like, how you doing? I'm drunk, so I was like, good, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Happy New Year's. He's like, yeah, Happy New Year's. What are you drinking? I'll get whatever you're getting. And I'm like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it. And he's like, no, come on. And I was like, well, I'm not even just getting one drink. I'm getting one for my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I got it. Don't worry. It's the New Year's, whatever. And eventually, and I was just getting like bottles and whatever. And I was like, all right. I'll watch him. I'll let him. And then he gets me the drinks, and then he pops the hand on my lower back. Just right where you would put it on a woman. Yeah. Which, again, it's fine to do. It's fine to try to do those things. But I was just like, oh, no, man, that's not. And he was like, you want to go smoke a cigarette? And I was like, I just did. And he was like, you can always smoke another one. And I was like, this man knows how to get in my pants. And I fucked him.
Oh, that's wild.
No, I was like, I have to go back to my girlfriend. You know, like when you're really like, hey, here's the thing that.
And you just wish your
work.
girl was there, like being able to. For once, you're the one getting hit on.
I'm like, hey, why don't you go get some drinks? A man tried to fuck me. And she's like, welcome to my existence. And I'm like, I mean, maybe you should put a towel over your head.
It's hard out here for these girls.
Yeah. And then there was the third scenario with that guy.
Cover up if you're beautiful. That's my advice.
Yeah, I mean. It's not me saying it. I want you guys to say
that's not me. That's not the parameters I want the world to be in. No, I want to stop them, but they won't even listen to me. As another man, they won't even listen to me, ladies, so I don't know what to tell you.
And that's what I mean. Men have tried to fuck me. I guess just mainly that man. There was a third one, too. I don't remember what it was. A third time with that guy. And then it wasn't me again, and I was even telling people, like, that guy will fuck you.
You became one of the people.
Not because it happened to me.
Not because it happened to me.
Because it is funny when someone comes up and they're like, hey, that guy will try to fuck you. You're instantly like, did he fuck you? Did he try
to fuck you? He tried.
He tried, and then he succeeded.
He liquored my buddy up, and we all watched, and then he screamed about an arrangement outside.
We had an arrangement. Yeah, I can't remember what the third one was.
That's a good lick, though. Have a guy just give you drinks all night, and then just at the end of the night be like, sorry, I'm not gay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what happens to women.
Yeah.
But they're just, not that they're not gay, they're just like, you're
sorry,
scary.
I'm gay.
Sorry, I'm gay. And then the guy's like, this shouldn't be a problem. What else was I going to say? Oh, do you ever want to do a drive-by? I'm not planning anything on the podcast. Have you ever been fascinated with the idea of doing a drive-by?
Always seems scary.
To be in the car or to be shot at?
I feel like
car that's driving, because that one's for sure.
One more than the other,
yeah,
but just being in the car, even if especially if you're not the shooter, I feel like it's scary because I feel like there's more pressure on you.
Fun.
There's more pressure on you. Yeah.
Or are you just enjoying yourself?
You're just in the back seat.
You're like, this Uber.
You're in the back trying to get your dick sucked, and suddenly somebody's popping shots out the
gun.
No,
like, what happened? I got shot by a guy sucking another guy's dick.
By the gun lady.
Whoa. Yeah, be careful. He'll try to fuck you, too. And if you say no, he'll shoot you while sucking another man's dick.
That's a wild shot.
What do you do? Yeah, you just see the head up and down in the car and then the arm back. And the driver's just like, Jesus Christ.
Pony by Genuine is playing very loudly off the speakers.
What's the most absurd song to be shot to?
Pony by Genuine. Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, the car's
while you look over and you see a guy just sucking dick to the beat, and then he's just shooting out the window. You think he's got an automatic, but he's just pulling the trigger that fast. He's just pop, 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 pop.
He's got a fucking.
He's got an extendo clip that reaches back past you in the back seat where you are getting your dick sucked.
I got a clip so long it goes in my own ass. Doesn't Lil Wayne have a line where he's like banana clap?
Banana clap.
It's like the monkey.
Write that down or just do it.
The monkey thing with the symbols. But it's bananas.
They just get smashed and gross after like a minute.
Yeah, in stores this Christmas. Buy your children the toy of the year. Tickle Me Nana Clap. We added the Tickle Me
Tickle Me Nana Clap.
It has nothing to do with Elmo.
There's nothing to do. Stop thinking it's not going to be followed by Elmo. Why does everyone say Tickle Me Elmo? It's Tickle Me Nana Clap.
And you can't even tickle anything.
I wouldn't tickle.
I wouldn't touch it.
It specifically says on the box, "Do not tickle Nana Clap" in like big letters.
And their bananas are old.
The bananas are always old because we put fresh bananas in every box and then we ship them around the world. And it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get there. So by the time the bananas show up, they're already rotten.
But you could make banana bread. But don't use the bananas for banana bread.
Don't touch Nana Clapper's nanners.
But yeah, I feel like even since I was young, and I won't do it, there's something to be said when people are like media can influence kids.
Yeah.
But it's completely wrong when people are like, media, the song made a person shoot someone, and the movie made...
The video games make the kids violent. No, that ain't right.
Because I think you think about it, like there's a song I used to listen to as a kid, and the first line is shoot the kids in school. And you know what I never even thought about doing? I probably thought about it once or twice, but just in a abstract way.
Right. Everybody thinks...
I'm not going to do it just because... I don't know. Maybe I'm a bitch.
Like, everybody thinks about killing people. Nobody ever just talks about it, you know?
Yeah.
It's the people that talk about it that you're like, ugh.
Yeah, it gets weird, and then it gets weirder, and it's people who have mental issues.
Well, I've also thought about killing people. You ever think maybe we should kill somebody together?
Yeah, they're like, yes, I'd like to be together on this and not...
For sure.
But I've always... And I don't even think it's like rap music inherently. I think there's a lot of movies where people shoot out of a car. It just feels so fucking like... Yeah, ever
powerful.
since it just feels like it. Yeah, it feels like it would feel powerful. Like I'd feel like a god or God himself, and I'm just shooting. And I don't really want to like kill people. I don't even think that's part of it. I think I want to shoot out of a moving car.
Yeah, I just want to shoot. Like if we could set up like a movie version of it where we could just like shoot at like cardboard cutouts or something like that, and just do it.
I would love it because I also feel like I brought this up recently. I'd be a great getaway driver. I would love to drive and shoot. That's like top dog shit. Like I'm just like. It feels so good. And I want the cardboard cutouts to look like you if possible.
Oh, I don't like personal, that bit.
Just business.
Just business.
But it feels like it would be fun. I wonder if this exists because it feels plausible.
It feels like something you have to have a lot of money to pay to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
they're not letting us bums shoot out of the window.
They're not gonna let us and the dad squad on a bachelor party weekend go shoot out of a moving vehicle.
But it's my bachelor party.
Boy, guys, it's my bachelor party.
We can do it without this place. Don't even worry about it.
Don't worry, we don't even need this place. Yeah, that's the biggest problem with a business like that is people go, oh, we don't even need this place to do this.
Yeah. Maybe we'll come
back. What time do you guys close up?
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we'll come back after you guys are closed, shoot this old bitch.
What time do you guys close at? 3 a.m.
Because I listen to music that definitely does make me wish I was doing it more. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. It can influence you. I was listening to some shit on the way here. And especially, like, my drive, I could just unload a clip on a lot of that with almost little to no repercussions.
I mean, yeah, at that point, you're pretty much just, if you're just shooting into the dirt, I mean, like.
I'm not going to shoot in the dirt. I'm going to shoot straight out. But, like, there's a lot of, like, I don't know how far bullets go and shit.
Very far.
But, like, we'll figure it out. Just sunroof. Just, wow.
Those got to come down somewhere. They don't just go into the
driving
atmosphere.
Away. And as long as no one's riding my ass.
I was going to say that.
Or riding.
The key is to aim straight up or slightly behind you as you're driving, not just.
No, I like to live on the edge. I shoot a little bit ahead of me and I gun it. And
see
it's
what
God's
happens.
decision now. It's in God's hand as I'm shooting forward out of the sunroof and doing 100. Listening to fucking Running by 21 Savage, Metro Boomin on digital streaming platforms now. Album of the year, I believe.
Listen to Valet.
Yeah, do you have a song that you would shoot? Mine probably wouldn't be Running. Just recently it would be. I feel like it'd probably have to be Finito. I mean,
Finito.
We gonna go blow New Jersey up, and I'm just.
Finito, 216s would be a fun one. Like if you're shooting people at night, I feel like.
We could talk some shit.
East St. Laurent book bag on my back down.
That's the only time you perfectly nailed it first. You're like, oh my God. Did you guys see that?
Did you guys hear it? No, we
like,
were too focused on those people you killed.
I'm like, no, I didn't hear it. I'm bleeding out of my neck. I think something went wrong.
I think
you mellied me.
I think someone fired back.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing is I don't want the people to shoot back.
Right.
I don't really want to shoot the people. I just want to shoot out of a car.
without repercussions. Someone,
yes.
you know what? We're ending this. Someone help us out for everything we've given you for 3 years.
Someone let me shoot a gun and don't be weird about it. I've never shot a gun, which is crazy. And then
I've shot a gun, and I haven't done anything.
I know. And I know many people who have guns. I know some people who are like really into their guns. And I'm like, let me shoot your gun. And they're like weird about it. They're like, get a FOID card. And I don't like that because I'm not going to buy a gun and I don't want to be on like a list of like crazy people with guns. And then I'm like, I never even got the gun. I just wanted, my buddy wouldn't let me shoot a gun. And I know people where we went for my birthday, you can apparently just shoot guns at that place.
Yeah?
He does. And I'm like, let me fucking shoot the gun. And they're like, maybe you shouldn't have had 15 beers. And
I will agree with that. Yeah,
I agree with
maybe
that
you should
too.
do it
I'll
sober.
come out sober.
Especially considering you've never done it.
Like shotguns and shit. I know people with scratched off crazy guns that they bought out of trunks. And that's like their whole shit. And you would be surprised who that is. And I'm like, so if there's no face, no case bin with the shit.
I mean, I guess.
Let me just shoot something.
Yeah, but then...
Never hurts to have another pair of prints on a gun.
I mean, yeah, but then you got to fire that gun off somewhere and someone's going to hear that gun go off and then they're going to call the cops about it. And then suddenly you're riding around with an unmarked gun. Oh, no, I see where you're going with this. I see where it's going. Keep running.
I leave all my cars.
Run.
Just a desert eagle blow me back.
Jesus.
Yeah, I just want to. I've never shot a gun. People are weird about it. Won't just throw me their gun.
Yeah, if you'll let us shoot your guns, let us know. We'd love to come shoot your guns.
But I also I don't want some fucking random person because it scares me. Like I don't like when people show me their guns.
No, if you know us and you have guns and you'll let us shoot your guns. If you're
not a weird person and if you're not gonna get
if you're not gonna be really weird about the guns, just go ahead and hit us up.
Yeah, I think everybody's just too weird about the guns.
Everybody's being really fucking weird about
throw me the gun and let me just empty it out.
Yeah, let me just let me empty a banana clip in my
butt.
Put
a beer on your head, and
I'll shoot it off.
I could for sure do that.
No,
not with a real gun. Did you ever have airsoft guns?
I wouldn't want you to shoot anything close to my face with an airsoft gun either.
You're such a bitch.
You want me to shoot an airsoft gun at your head?
Yeah, just put your hand over your face.
That still sucks.
Getting hit in the hand. Anyway, I was gonna buy an airsoft gun the other day, but then I thought it might not be the best decision.
Why? Because you know you would abuse it?
No, because I'm poor from buying gifts for everybody.
Ah.
My fucking life is a nightmare from November to January because everybody was born in that time. Everybody I care about. You slid in before.
Yeah.
And then Christmas. And I'm just too generous, everybody says. And then I was like, maybe don't fucking start with me.
Don't knock my tree over because you're mad at Christmas. Don't knock over my Jepson's Malort ornament.
Yeah, it'd be a damn shame if that just wound up broke out of nowhere.
Oh, that's like one of my only special ones.
Yeah, and I'm also like, don't buy things for yourself around Christmas. And I had to buy a hat. So I was like, maybe don't buy an airsoft gun. But then I'm also like, I don't really want to ask for one. But then I found one that's like metal airsoft pellets. And
so BBs?
Yeah. But they were like, it said crazier than BBs. I don't know if that was the tagline.
Crazier than BBs. These metal aerosol bullets.
These are almost bullets. I like something in between a bullet and a BB. You know what I mean?
You know, I like a BB that has a little bit of lethal force behind it. You know,
I like the old timey BB guns where you got to keep cranking it, and I crank it for 7 years. Every morning I wake up, I do 10 cranks, 7 years. No math on here, but imagine. I shoot the single strongest BB that's ever went. It's still traveling around the world.
It's still going.
And it's fast. Just one cranked out BB.
Damn shame when it starts tearing through the major metropolitan areas.
Yeah. I just didn't know. I started when I was a kid, so if my lawyer's good, that's going to be his main thing. It's like, technically, a child did this. A child that grew into a very old
And technically, aren't we all children at heart still?
Yeah, and then the bullet rips through the judge's head. BB, excuse me.
BB.
And you're like, oh my God. It went perfectly through his ears, and we're like, are you okay? And he's like, I think I'm. And then his head explodes like scanners. And we're like, whoa. So there's a super delay on the BB too? The super BB
It's moving so fast that it blows your head up after several seconds.
Yeah. Just a crazy. It blows your head up after 45 minutes. You're like home heating up a pizza and your head explodes and your wife's like, he always said that cheese is too hot.
Yo,
Oh my God, he's cheese. Look at all this cheese and
I
red
get
sauce
it. The
all over
pizza's so wet. Look at how wet it is.
Yeah, she's just real sick of your shit. Oh yeah, you're all cheese now. Cheese and marinara all over my kitchen.
All over the
Pieces
fucking
of
walls.
brain.
Oh yeah, you always
Or
talk about
sauce
the
in
wet ass pizza. You want a wet ass pizza? Looks like you got your wet ass pizza all over the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna clean this up.
Where's that dog? That dog can clean this up.
Oh, my dog's just eating my exploded head because
Just eating your
a BB
eyeballs
went
and
through
shit.
45 minutes prior.
When you decided to make a pizza with your wife, who you appear to be having marital issues with.
Yeah, I thought everything was okay. I thought the BB went through my head and I was totally fine. And then yeah, I'm like, I can't talk to anyone about this. I'm hungry. I need to go home and cook a pizza in the oven. Your head explodes during the preheating.
It sounds like
And that's why I never
it's,
wait.
It sounds like you.
Put it
It sounds like you and your wife were fighting a lot before you died.
What does it matter?
Because I just love that you die, and she's like, "Oh yeah, look at this wet ass pizza." She's not like, "Oh my God, my husband's head exploded."
Yeah, I would probably have to say I finally found peace. A little bit of quiet, am I right? My head exploding was quieter than her constant, insufferable nagging. What a bitch.
All women do is nag, am I right? My head explodes slightly after yours. I'm like, oh.
I wonder if the BB went through his head.
Do we both?
No, sympathy pain.
We both have our Casper ghosts are looking at our fucked up bodies, and you're like, "Did you get shot with the BB?" I'm like, "No, sympathy pains, bro."
I knew my buddy must have went through it. His head exploded, and I just...
I sat here and I had to watch your head explode, and I said, "Not on my watch," and my head exploded.
It's like when a couple is like married for 50 years
And
one
they
of them
die
dies,
moments
and then
apart.
the other one dies out of loneliness or heartbreak. And yeah, you die because sympathy pains for when my head explodes.
And
And you have to die in the same way.
I really just like our Casper ghosts looking at our fucked up, blown up head bodies and just being like, "What the fuck? You didn't get shot with the BB." I know, but I saw you go through it, and I just thought,
Do we have tails?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I mean by Casper-like ghost bodies.
Okay, I didn't know.
We're like
I thought you meant the kid that got hit by a bus.
No,
and
we're
is a
like
ghost
we're
now.
like the brothers with like that are flying around, and the bad ghosts.
Is this a Casper reference?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember Casper.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure we've been over this.
You should probably watch Casper.
Is there like a timely holiday special I could get into?
Probably.
Something for Christmas? Casper or no, that wouldn't make sense. It's Casper Scrooge. I was going to say Casper McDuck.
Casper comes back as whoa.
I know. I changed that.
Yeah, you're mashing up.
I don't know who we
mashed up
pitched
Christmas
that to.
specials.
I don't know who we pitched that to, but
The
I
year
know that they
the year
immediately-
without a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Can you imagine that? Burl Ives just singing over himself.
It would probably be better because I think Year Without a Santa Claus is the best Christmas special. But
is.
then you sit down and watch and you're like, this is long.
You get to
Things used to be so long and uneventful. How did kids ever watch
He's
this?
miser, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is surely almost over, and then you're like, frost mine, whatever I touch,
Yeah.
he's too much, I'm too much.
That's when I turn it off is Heat Miser and Snow Miser. I absolutely love that. I almost bought a miser shirt, but I couldn't. They make you pick. Who do I pledge allegiance to?
Yeah, you get why not?
I feel personally, I'm more of a Snow Miser. But I think Heat Miser has an undoubtable charm about him.
Heat Miser's got a charm, and he's got a real swaggy sounding song.
It's literally the same song, which is different. Yeah, it's just
he sings
Snow
it
and
better.
Heat. No, I think he has a worse voice.
That's
I
what
think we
makes
need to,
it better.
And he looks so like tiny, and I guess I'm fully
Right,
Snow
and he's
Miser.
mad
It's
and
good
shit.
It's good to figure
I'm team
this out.
I'm team Snow Miser myself.
That's fucked up. I did get a Snow Miser ornament last year. It's 3 Snow Misers doing what is it when you kick
A Human
everybody kicks their
Centipede?
leg out? Yeah. Yeah, you know when you kick your leg out because your ass aches so hard.
And your ass aches.
Imagine
So
being in a human centipede and the person you have to eat in front of you just keeps coming because they like it so much. Does that make it better or worse?
well, is it a lady I'm sewn to or a man?
It's
Because that
anybody's
changes
game.
things.
It's anybody's game.
If
Does it change it that much?
Yeah, because if I'm sewn to a lady's ass and she just keeps coming, I feel like I'm okay with that a little bit.
Okay. The man's cum doesn't.
I'm more meant. I mean, still, I'm sitting there and the dick and balls are pulsing in like so close to my mouth, and it's like I would rather have a lady coming.
You can't see it though. All you see is the lower back.
Yeah, but I'm feeling it as he's like jerking around because he's fucking coming so hard.
Wow, you're giving yourself a lot of credit.
I mean, he just really likes it.
I just couldn't make him stop.
I just couldn't. When I was in that Human Centipede, he just wouldn't stop coming everywhere because of how well my mouth was sewn to his ass.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a lot of tongue stuff.
Yeah, I would say I kept trying
tongue in ass.
I kept trying to scream, but my tongue was in his sphincter, and that's what was really setting him off. See, he didn't believe in the male orgasm before that because he didn't think that there was a male G-spot.
Oh, I thought you just meant like he was like, nope, I don't even believe in it.
No,
can't come,
can't come.
It doesn't make sense.
Can't come, shan't come, won't come. Come is not a thing. People don't come. Come is made up in movies. It's propaganda. I've never known anybody to actually come in my life.
Imagine being a scientist who was like, I guess in retrospect, he just did that for shits and giggles, so he probably doesn't care that much. For some reason, I was like, I know there's a moral to this story. I've seen Human Centipede 3 times.
What would you rather be sewn to a man or a woman and they're coming a bunch? Like, which one would you pick?
I'd rather have it be the woman.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters that much.
What if it was,
I'm eating shit
would you rather be sewn to me or your girl?
I think we both know the obvious answer there. I'm just saying, like, I'm not seeing
me.
the balls. I'm not seeing the balls. I'm not tasting the jizz.
You're tasting.
I'm eating shit all the time, so my life is at such a deficit of enjoyment to begin with that it's just kind of, you know what I mean?
Just
I feel like I'm
just
gonna lose my body.
Constantly eating my ass.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta really get to the bottom of this. And I just keep thinking about fucked up videos I've seen. Not Human Centipede. I don't think it's that bad. I had to defend it recently.
There's worse movies.
Yeah, the second one is intense.
The first
one I think is actually good.
Yeah, the first one's
well
watchable.
Done.
Third one is.
I just watched that.
That is, yeah,
it's one of the single worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Life.
Like, it's just a bad movie.
Not even like comically bad, just like terribly acted. They bring back characters to be other characters.
Right.
It's so confusing.
Right.
And there's no point. And yeah, in retrospect, like I said, I guess the first one really has no point as well. The second one kind of does because it like ties the first one together, and it's just
right.
I think you should watch them. I think everybody should watch everything.
I think everybody should be gifted a 3 Blu-ray set of the movies in this holiday season.
I think we got to get rid of this PC culture where I can't watch a couple people get sewed to each other's asses.
I think we got to get rid of this PC culture where we can't openly talk about the Human Centipede in a public forum.
It's crazy that that's had the longevity to be shocking. And people haven't even seen it, and it's really old at this point, but you bring it up and people are still like, oh no, I don't watch anything like that. And I'm like, yeah, most people probably don't, but it's like not that crazy. Like crazier things have happened.
Well, I think just at the time when it came out, it was so wild to be such a mainstream thing to have everybody talking about. People used to say that with like
Saw and Hostel especially.
Well, right, it's all got to start with something. Yeah, and then now people.
None of this is anything.
I'm sure people said it when like Night of the Living Dead came out and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that one's fucked up.
Yeah,
that's way more disturbing to me than Human Centipede.
Right.
I was at a thing one time and they had the Human Centipede like contraption from I think the third one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like on the ground and I was like looking at it and taking pictures and I was like, this is crazy. And then the guy like running the thing was like, you want to get in it? And it had like 2 people and then like a spot. So I think it is like a photo op thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not like the way he approached me with it.
Yeah.
It might sound crazy, but the man running the Human Centipede photo op was
gave off a weird vibe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like them. And I'm like looking at other props because it was just horror movie props. It wasn't like one guy bought the Human Centipede setup and just takes it traveling flea market to flea market hoping someone wants to pop
farmer's market to farmer's market. Go get yourself a nice hot espresso, shop for some fresh produce, photo op with the Human Centipede prop.
Yeah, you can knock out all your holiday tasks in one place because your Christmas card. Oh, that would be...
Get the whole family
that
in.
Out. Yeah, that would be great.
You in the middle as the patriarch attached to the Human Centipede and the rest of the family just writing it. Come hear those sleigh bells jingling.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to say that. Thank you for moaning or muffling your moans. Please do. You know when you're getting blown and anybody ever goes, and it's nice? You know, do you ever get that?
Yeah.
Not like talking about like screaming for help.
But like
just something like they moan, but it's muffled and it
right,
kind of
yeah,
vibrates.
like they're
like a Hummer. I believe it's a Hummer.
like they're moaning while they're sucking your dick, and you feel it vibrate in your dick.
And it's super hot to ladies. We know women. If you want to make your man really excited, it's hot when a girl moans when she blows you, because
my god,
at all.
No,
you know what
like
I mean?
no one should
be like
be
moans
enjoying
of
it.
pain.
It should be like moans of like frustration.
I don't mean like big dick pain, just like bad decision.
More like frustrated that like you decided to be with a man who wants you to suck his dick and like expects.
Not even that. I mean, I think it's implied. I think you should be sad that this is the dick you have to suck.
Right.
You know
yeah, that too. Especially if you're with me.
Except it's so easy to do it, but it's still just sad. But yeah, so I would like to think in the Human Centipede
a Hummer scenario is involved.
Yeah, because into your asshole do you think it could feel good? Let's take all the brutality out of the equation. You're at the front of the Human Centipede.
Okay.
You have the only spot anyone could want. And so you're just normal, and you're just getting your asshole hummered. It could feel good, right? It's plausible.
It's plausible that it could feel
Again,
good.
if you maybe if you also take out of like the cutting and sewing. Let's say, do you think if a woman, ladies, it's possible you can do it? I'll call 4027-DAPPER and tell me if you want to do what I'm about to say, but you have to agree right now before you hear it. It's
you have to agree. We're going to take a 5-second pause. Agree.
All right. If a woman were to press her lips against your anus and hum, do you think you could find that enjoyable?
No.
Are you sure? Is it because you can't detach your shitty, smelly, gross asshole?
Yeah, that's part of what the big thing is I see guys
like Barbara Walters right now.
I see guys getting their ass eaten in pornos, and I'm like, no lady should be doing that. Like, that's not
right. But let's say she wants to do it. You can prep, and it's
like I can clean up and everything.
For some reason, it's super clean.
I'm shaved, clean.
She's perfectly fine with it.
Fresh out the shower.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy.
She shaves me.
If it makes you happy, you're just getting your asshole hummered.
So who is that? Michelle Branch?
You so sad. Sheryl
Crow. If it makes you happy. That's what I feel like I wouldn't like. Is like, what enjoyment is there in this for her? You know,
she's just into that. She's a giver.
I mean, I just don't think there's anybody in the world that wants to be a giver with me. That's the thing.
I guarantee you there's people who are giving it to grosser versions of you. Not like an alternate timelines where you just get grosser and grosser. But it's nice for you to think about you're the best one in this timeline.
Yeah.
So
there's better ones.
No, they died.
No.
Too handsome. Too big of a dick, got a boner, died. But yeah, I mean, I guarantee you there's some wonderful ladies licking a disgusting man's ass, and they're like happy about it.
Sad.
You just have to get to that point in your
Do I respect women too much?
No, not enough.
Oh.
If you respected them, you would place your anus against their lips and let them hum away.
But no one's ever wanted to give me a Hummer.
Maybe
no one's ever offered.
Maybe they're like us and they don't know how to ask for what they truly want, which is to place their lips against your asshole and hum away.
Would I don't think I'd let someone do it. I feel like there's a lot of like spreading involved.
I don't think so, because you can pucker your lips. I bet she could just get right in there.
I guess it depends on how much of my balls she's sucking.
It would suck if you suffocated her.
Yeah.
How'd she die?
Couldn't breathe with her nose up against my gooch.
Sympathy pains.
Sympathy pains. I was getting hammered. My head exploded.
What can we call this? Because I'd like to continue with this. If anyone listening has ever had their asshole hummed, I want a good word.
Humdinger?
No, I feel like that's probably something else.
Humdummer?
Humdummer, I hardly know her.
Hummer, hardly knew her.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's call it the kazoo. All right, so if you've ever gotten kazooed, text 4027-DAPPER.
Let us know what it's about. As a man, let us know if you've been kazooed.
Tell us if you would, too. Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like, is that something that you would let happen?
If a
lady asked you, if a girl asked you, can I give you a Hummer?
In the butt.
In the butt.
Yeah, because we all know your traditional Hummer's on the dick. And I think it's just a blowjob. But I think, like, when you get that hum, you're like, wow, this is.
It's like a bell ringing. Like
tight.
there's like something about like vibration and resonance, you know.
Yeah,
Like
of course. But yeah, if you're willing to get kazooed, I think if there was a girl that was like really, really wanted to do it, I would probably eventually
come around to the idea.
Let her do it. Yeah, I'm not like super keen. My main question was, do you think if you just remove all of this red tape and this PC culture,
all of this fucking patriarchal nonsense,
and it was to happen to you in whatever your best case scenario is, do you think that you would experience pleasure from the act? I feel like it's possible. I don't know. I've never had anything buzz against my ass. I'm afraid.
I've never like had my ass eaten or anything either.
Yeah,
so
I haven't
like,
either. I haven't had anything really happen with the
ass area.
The shit shoot.
Maybe that's why we can't grow beards.
More butt play?
More butt play.
Wouldn't it be shocking if I come over, I have a big beard,
I'm like ass play?
I'm like, one of you, and you've just solo ass play. Your facial hair shrinks up. What you do have disappears. I have a full beard. I'm like, oh, things have happened. I got a kazoo and hair just fell out of my face. I can't
Interesting.
stop
I've been doing some solo ass play in the shower.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Not as much as me.
I'm picturing the old suction cup dildo. Anytime it's in a bathtub,
just
shower,
right up against the wall there.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of footage of these type of things.
I've seen films. I've seen footage. I've seen noise. I've seen footage.
Yeah, a lot of pornographic moving pictures, old timey things.
A lot of pornographic flip books of these dildos in the shower.
Yeah, and they're clear. They're clear and they're wiggling all over the place.
They're just
and
waggling.
She's all soapy in the breast department.
And she's like taking
like,
them and like bouncing them around in the
that.
bubbles. And you're like, man, I'd love to get kazooed. And it says specifically on her page, she's like, no ass play. And you're like, why am I even here?
Maybe I could convince her.
Maybe I could change
Maybe she
her.
just hasn't seen the right
She's
ass.
like,
maybe
no,
the
man.
ass that makes her think twice about participating in ass play is the one that was recently cut open. So
you know what they
do?
They do say that, you know, when it's the one, you know. Yeah. And you'll know when you see that asshole.
Look, you can still see where they cut into it. It's my asshole. Like a phone. What song do you have hummed into your asshole? The Pledge of Allegiance?
2 phones.
You're like, she doesn't tell you, and as it's happening, you're like, this seems a lot like, and then my head explodes.
And then my head explodes 45 minutes later after I get a kazoo and I put a pizza in the oven.
I picture you for some reason. We can go with that sweater. It makes sense. I'd like you to have pants on this scenario. Glasses, maybe 2 monocles. You're sitting. That chair works. A lot of this works, actually. Maybe it's in my head because of this. And corncob pipe, you're reading a book. My head explodes, and then you're just doing this. You have normal time. And then seconds before yours explodes, you go, oh, dear. And then just...
I think...
Exactly that.
I think I just...
Yeah, the mailman's coming and he sees it happen.
Holy fuck!
And then eventually, he's driving the mail truck and.
Oh, it's a chain reaction thing.
Like
everyone in the everyone in the world's head explodes.
Everyone in the heads world. We're all just inside
heads
of the
world.
Yeah, it's like a STD, but your head explodes, and you only have to be near it. But it can only go to one person. You only have
to see it.
You're at a concert.
It's like It Follows, but someone's head explodes.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
I look at you. You're like, yeah. Because traditionally, I like you screaming really high like that before. Because traditionally, I really like the idea of you screaming in that really high-pitched tone before something explodes. Or
I'm afraid to actually do.
Or your body just spontaneously combusts. Your head just explodes. That guy was my ride. My head explodes.
Not the guy who didn't have a ride home.
That guy's head explodes. Well, he wrote me into this.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to come to this show.
Someone's like, shut up. And another person's like, I think if we don't. And it never gets out. And the bartender's like, yeah, I've seen this. That one It's been a year ago today since the last concert we went to. An entire year ago today. Unless you saw something without me, you piece of shit.
No.
You were at that Trapt concert?
Which
right before?
The one at the strip club?
Yeah, there was one in town.
A Trapt show?
Yeah, it was like...
at like the Apollo in Belvedere or something?
No, it was that fucking...
Rockford Speedway?
Yeah, on the track.
Rue.
And the cars were going. It was that goddamn...
Giovanni's?
Ding, 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 ding.
Headstrong, headstrong, I take you on.
You just eat a nice pasta dinner.
I know that you are wrong and this is not.
Can I get some olive oil for the bread? Say when with the...
All right, we're not going to play Headstrong until the very end. We got 19 more songs to play, though. Boo! Boo!
They're at the district. They're at the district as everything was stopping in March. It was like March 20th.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was like... I feel like it was supposed to be the day that everything shut down. I can't remember what it was. And all I kept thinking is, what about the Trapt show? Not like I wanted to go. But then there was a piece of me that was like... Because I thought we were all going to die, for sure. Like, everyone. And it's... We're not sure yet, but it's not as immediate death as I was assuming. And I was like, should I go see Trapt just to see one more thing? No, I bet I could hit him with a bottle. I could hit Trapt himself with a bottle.
You could hit
before we all die.
You could hit the guy from Trapt with a bottle, I feel like.
And then, now it's clipped to modern time, and I'm facing a jail sentence because I hit the man Trapt with a bottle because I thought we were all going to die. And if my head explodes, his head will explode, and I need a kazoo. Yeah.
I'm getting kazooed at the Trapt show during Headstrong.
Playing a concert and you're looking on the crowd and man just goes and then hits you with a bottle. Like face to face. I'm not throwing a bottle. I'm like extending it. He's really excited.
The noise that prefaces it scares me more than I think the bottle would.
Are you okay? Like, just make sure he doesn't make that fucking noise.
Make sure he doesn't sound like make sure that guy doesn't sound like a spider monkey trapped with its leg in a bear trap again.
That's what I'm going to do when I can teleport into your house. When I show up, I'm going to go... But I'm really going to let it go. I feel like I'm hurting my throat by stifling it. I think I'm just going to have to start
letting it go.
I think once we're done recording, I'm going to have to do at least a 10-minute version of it just to get the pipes back and work.
Fair enough.
Your neighbors.
What am I supposed to do, Judge?
You look outside and everyone's holding their ears rolling around on the ground. Is this the tornado alarm every first Tuesday?
My poor old neighbors.
I hate that tornado alarm. Why do we have to keep checking?
Every first Tuesday, even during the winter?
Tuesday, you're like... We're all going to die. And then you're like, no, it's the first Tuesday.
For those of you that aren't aware of this Midwestern tradition, every first Tuesday of the month, all year, we test out the tornado sirens.
Yeah, which
even
is just
when there's no
siren.
Which is just a loud siren going.
But sometimes, and sometimes you live a little bit far away, so it's just a faint siren, and you're like, what is going on? And that kind of just like...
That's more ominous. A far away siren is more ominous.
Yeah, that's how it is at my house.
What trouble's starting over there that's going to come over here?
Yeah, you have enough time. Those people are going to die immediately. You could try, but should you even try, or should you just give up?
Or should you just give up? I think giving up is easier.
Giving all the power, all the siren power to one thing, what are we going to do if something else crazy happens? And an alarm goes off, and people are going to be like, I think it's just...
No, it's just the first Tuesday of the month.
And they're like, no, it's Wednesday. And you're like, it's probably still like a tornado thing.
It's probably just them testing out the sirens. It's fine. The sky's turning kind of black and green outside. Whoa.
That's big tornado. Yeah. But I mean, like, imagine if, like, zombies come back or something that's never...
And we use the tornado alarm to tell people?
Even another alarm. Are you... With hearing one alarm every month, are you going to be able to decipher the subtle difference between
I think
the
it
two
depends
alarms?
on the alarm.
And are you going to just think it's tornado related? That's what I mean. It's crazy to give all our siren power to tornadoes.
I think you're not wrong, but I also feel like a zombie siren is like out of the argument here.
I know. I'm trying to say like a like very serious scenario that needs to alert the people with a siren. How many different sirens are they going to have?
I think we're going to have
to. And we're not prepped. We should, every day of the week, we should be hearing.
I would say we should have a 12 siren system so that we understand what the different sirens are for, and we need to test them 12 days out of the month.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I don't want to. Yeah,
every Saturday, 6 a.m., a different siren.
Yeah, because you got to be prepared. That's what I mean. Obviously, not a zombie apocalypse. I don't know why I can't think of another like mass tragedy. One of our mini 9/11s that we're working on. Not like we're going to do them.
Yeah, not like personally. Not like we got plans after the podcast.
Ooh, this feels like that might be the worst thing we've ever said. As far as people coming and kicking in our doors.
Yeah.
And I just put all those new locks
9/11 is a very personal tragedy. My mom's boyfriend died in 9/11 on the plane. He was a pilot towards the end.
I was watching, there's a series on YouTube that's... I think it's called Rough Cuts or something. It's skateboarders talking about their like worst injuries throughout their career.
Get me on Rough Cuts.
That's where I'm going with this. And I was watching them, like some of the skaters I like and know because I'm an old man, and they have footage of them, and it's crazy. And then like the most viewed video was Tony Hawk, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't show any footage of his. It was just like explained. I don't know if he was like the first one. They hadn't really figured out all the kinks. And I know there's footage of one because one of them is he did like 50 tricks when he turned 50 and he like retired some of the tricks. And the final trick I think is just like a 720 on his huge half pipe that he has in his warehouse. And then it like comes down and there's the opening to like get into the half pipe and there's a pole and he's like going the wrong way and he just hits the pole with his chest and flips around fucking gnarly. And they didn't show that for some reason, but one of his injuries was he broke his pelvis. And I don't even remember what it was. It's just, something like, I think on a vert, like he fell and I think he like broke his arm and broke his pelvis. And he's talking about it and it's not that crazy. And then at the very end, no shit, he goes, no matter what you do, never break your pelvis. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And he's like broken everything and had like so many, he talks about all the concussions he's had. And he said that the pelvis is the worst thing he ever had to deal with.
Why?
So it just like is, I think like the walking and stuff, like other stuff.
It sucks.
Because some people like, some skaters will like break their arm and then just keep skating and hope to not fall on the arm. And there's like so many people that do fall on the arm and make things worse.
Yeah.
Or I think they like traditionally try to get back to things too quickly. And specifically for skating, like the pelvis feels like it's going to be like a whole thing.
Right.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But I feel like that information will maybe make you feel better. Tony Hawk. So now you don't feel like such a bitch because you're like, Tony Hawk couldn't deal with it either.
I mean, if Tony Hawk couldn't deal with it,
we all love Tony Hawk.
So it's okay if I can't deal with it?
Right. Well, I think that, because like I told you initially, I was like, I don't know what that entails. I know it's like a big deal, but I've never known anyone who's had it. You don't even really hear about it. You hear about broken everything else except for the pelvis. It's like, it's the medical community's little secret is a shattered pelvis. And then, hearing that, and out of everything, like he goes through 5 things, but for him, like that's what I mean. I think he said he's broken pretty much everything, and like his thumb doesn't fully close anymore, and he's got all these like crazy things. And he was like, out of everything, the pelvis was the worst. So I was like, I gotta tell Slim this. Maybe it'll make him feel better.
I don't know if it makes me feel better.
I don't know. I don't know if I mean it makes you feel better, but like, I don't know what I mean. I just feel like if
my pain feels validated knowing that Tony Hawk says it's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah, because if I was in your scenario and I saw that, it would make me feel better weirdly. I'd be like, okay, Tony Hawk, he's cool. He's done a lot of shit. This must be real. Because I'm always afraid, we've talked about it before, that the pain I experience, if like someone else was to get in my body, they'd be like, oh, this isn't even pain. We all live at this. This is normal. Feel my pain. And then you're like, whoa. So I'm always like, afraid that whatever my pain is, my ass, my back, my crack, is just like not shit. Like everyone else would be like, this is literally nothing. This is what you're going to the hospital about. That cost me $600, by the way. I got the bill yesterday.
Really?
I woke up in the morning to an email that was like, whatever they say, invoice. I clicked on it. First thing, I got out of bed, probably been sleep out of my eyes, and it said $601. And I just went, what the fuck? So that's fun. Last time it wasn't that much. And I got better insurance. So I feel like the first one, they're like, okay, we'll help you on. The second one, they're like,
second one, they're like, this guy enjoys it a little bit too much.
Keep coming.
You're just going to keep going to the doctor and getting your ass cut open?
And like I was saying,
I smashed the other side of my pelvis. I go back to the hospital. They're like, you just had to do the other one? I'm like, I couldn't skate on my dominant side anymore, which was actually goofy to start with. So I actually started skating normal. Fell on the other one. Went back to the same hill, said, you won't beat me. And then what do you know? It beat me again.
Yeah, that is like a lot of those videos are people.
Let's just put it this way. If I beat that hill, I wouldn't be here.
True.
Telling you
I would be dead. Because I would kill myself. I did the best.
I knock the other side of my head, knock everything in my brain straight.
I don't. Yeah, that doesn't even. I feel like that would be something I could never comprehend, even if I had to see it constantly. But yeah, and I'm like, I know that like it's way more than that because I have insurance, and I feel like that man should get $600 for what he went through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it went directly into his pocket, I wouldn't feel so absolutely
if you could just drive a check to his house every month.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say his name because it's crazy.
It is a cute little name.
I hope he's doing well. I hope he
got over the trauma of cutting into your drama ass.
I assume he's an alcoholic now, but we're all are gonna be or are past it. So you got to get it out of the way sometimes, like COVID.
Jesus fucking.
Anyway, but yeah, I hate like that shit because I was picturing. I think last time it was like $100-$200. That's fine.
Reasonable.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would gladly pay $200 to get that pain to stop. And then we start creeping over that number, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll live with the pain for $600. I hate the fact that you can wake up one day and you just owe someone several $100s.
I'm gonna say
I was having a good week, and now
I'll lance it with a hot X-Acto knife for $50.
I mean, if it happens again, you can lance my throat with a hot X-Acto knife because I'm done. But your head will explode shortly after.
Okay.
Sympathy pain.
Okay. I think I can live with that because we got to be like an old couple that dies moments apart.
Yeah. And everyone will be like, I told you they were gay and too intertwined with each other's lives.
because they couldn't put our bodies back together because the heads are so messed up, and so they had to bury us next to each other holding hands and dicks for some reason.
I thought you meant they were like, I don't know if they're dead. Let's try to put their bodies back together, but our heads are just whatever.
Just a waggling tongue with a bottom row of teeth.
Yeah, it's whatever horror movie you're picturing, it's worse.
It's worse.
And people are like, I don't know, they might still be alive. I don't know how to check a pulse, so let's try to put them back together. Or I thought you were also gonna say that they just made us into one,
just one person.
Because I assume your head probably doesn't blow off as clean as you'd love to fantasize.
Oh no, it's probably far messier than what you think it is. Yeah.
And so they're like, I think this is this, and this is this, and they just make a headless version of us together. And then they put a pumpkin on top.
It's much taller with a lot of extra bones.
Yeah, they just really... Yeah, they don't just take the good pieces. They put everything.
They just like...
So we've got 4 arms, but one of them is in very bad shape.
Yeah, one of them is just... Shouldn't have been put back on, but he's got it.
It's a Frankenstein's monster, and it's just... It doesn't look good at all.
It's not good for anybody involved.
And they're like, it's drama and slim. And it does a podcast that's just a series of grunts, and it's so much more successful.
Everybody is like, the Dapper Dads were cool. Yeah. But then they turned into one and started that other show, and like, I just can't listen to the old stuff the same way again. It just sounds like garbage.
Or it's like when you like find an artist and you're like so excited about whatever project you came in on, and you're like, oh, and they have old shit too.
And
you go and listen, and you're like, oh, I don't really like this. They definitely got better.
Like better.
Yeah.
They got a producer and started sounding better.
Yeah, this makes more sense. So it's that. They're like, oh, the Dapper Dads have been around for 3.5 years and 177 total episodes? I bet I'll love it. And they're like, it's just kind of like them talking about their dicks and shitting. And like
just stuff that doesn't even make sense half the time.
Like whatever random stories.
A bunch of references to a town I've never heard of or been to.
Yeah, they're recently obsessed with Fast Times at a location, Ridgemont High, and neither of them appear to
know anything about the
slightly
plot.
Familiar with the film, except that the stoner guy orders a pizza and bikini boobs, which we just recently confirmed. So yeah, I like them much better when they're just one mess of a person,
one jello-like mass of human being, and just fat and arms and too many bones.
It has like the YouTube clips about like Joe Rogan, how it'll just be like a clip of something. We're like interviewing Elon Musk, and we're like, and then he smokes our weed out of our head, out of our neck. Yeah. This is exactly how it works.
Yeah,
because he's smart, and he's like, I think the next Tesla will just be a reanimated corpse. And we're like,
but the subtitles are like perfect.
We're also very wide. Like
I don't know why. I can't even wear a shirt.
I see it in my head. It's just
like the clothes that we wear are clearly sewn together from both of our wardrobes. Like they just took our shirt.
Your sweater, my.
But the weirdest parts of both, like there's just like a patch here and there for some reason. Like they get the sweater is so stretched out, but it still looks really tiny for some reason.
And my Casper ghost is like, they're ruining my t-shirts.
I'm like, they're ruining my sweaters.
And I'm like, your sweater sucks. That's why we're dead.
Your
I already
t-shirts.
forgot why we died. What happened?
died because your head blew up, and I felt bad about it.
No, you lanced my throat.
Oh
then my head exploded.
And then my head exploded. Sympathy pains.
Yeah. And we could just blame each other because technically we are responsible for each other's death in a very abstract way.
Yeah.
But we're very successful in one human form. Who else do you think we interview as a big mess of a person?
Kanye.
Yeah, you don't even have to talk to him.
No.
I watched an hour of that, and it's
just him going.
It's so crazy.
Alex Jones.
I hope one day I have the opportunity to become as crazy as Kanye has. I know you're not supposed to say it's crazy, but it's crazy.
It's crazy.
As a white man, I think we should be able to say whatever we want. And crazy is crazy. When I grew up, people were crazy. Now we can't be crazy. That's ableist.
Ableist is crazy?
Saying crazy is ableist to me.
What?
Yeah. You haven't seen this?
No.
I've seen this for years. You're not
I just
supposed
found...
to say if someone had... Because most of the time, if someone is acting crazy, they have a mental illness. So you shouldn't say crazy because they have a mental illness.
I've never even heard this.
Yeah, it's a big one that I constantly...
I just found out that people were against Mr. Magoo getting rebooted in 97 because apparently it depicts the idea that blind people can't do anything right and that they they're stupid or something like that. And Disney had to put out a big thing at the end of the movie that was the following movie isn't meant to be any depiction of disabled people. Disabled people can live a rich, fulfilling life and blah, blah, blah. And I'm I've never watched...
I can't see the movie.
I've never watched Mr. Magoo and thought, oh, he's making fun of blind...
1997?
97.
That was before we even really cared about shit.
That was before woke culture existed.
Yeah, the coming for cartoon shit is crazy to me, except for the old-timey super racist or Nazi.
Now, I will say that if you look up that show, that was a cartoon in the 60s, and there's some super racist shit in the cartoon, which I feel you should be against before the idea of Mr. Magoo makes fun of disabled people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's some sketchy things, but the Simpsons shit where they're can't cancel a poo because it's racist. And it's everyone in that show is a caricature of
something.
The most dramatized one. Fucking Willie could be offensive. The fucking Luigi could be offensive. The Bumblebee Man could be offensive.
Fat Tony could be
Tony
offensive.
could be, it does it to everyone. It's equal opportunity. Homer is the dumbest white person.
Right.
It's across the board. And I was talking to someone who was it was I know people who are that's great representation because we didn't have any Indian.
Right,
so maybe add more Indian characters. He was a successful business owner, which I know people are no, you don't have to run a 7-Eleven essentially. I just think we should be able to say it. He was a vegan. He cheated on his wife and had 8 babies. He had the perfect life that we all dream after. He's the symbolism
I would love
of
8
coming
babies
to America. I'd love to eat babies. Can we talk about it?
No, we certainly can't.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we have 3 minutes. So,
well,
if you had to eat a baby, how would you do it? In a stew?
Barbecued, rotisserie style.
Have I talked to you about how? Yeah, I think we were in the car. And I mean, the podcast ended, so fuck it. I really wanted to. I've been trying to work out how to say this for a long time. It would be so easy to snap a baby's neck. That fact is undeniable. I'm not saying do it.
But it would be so easy to do.
About easy things to do. Oh my God. And I've brought this up to many people, and no one is on my side with this. And I'm not saying
do it. Yeah, I agree with you.
We should be able to say what we want to say.
I agree that it would be an easy thing to do. I just want to know what made you think of this first.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I was holding the baby.
Oh, see, that's what I'm worried about, is you holding my baby someday.
I specifically won't hold people's babies because I have the urge to
What about if you have a baby someday?
I won't touch it.
Ugh.
I'll have the urge to snap its neck.
That's just going to go bad, I feel like.
It could go great.
No, that's how you get a kid that turns out like us.
No, my dad... that would have sounded weird, so I stopped it. My dad never molested me. He did emotionally. Yeah, I don't know how to clean that up. Anyway, I don't think it was... What was it? I don't know. It wasn't a weird thought. I do understand. You are right on that. People point that out a lot, and I'm I understand. This is a slight insight into how my brain works. It's full of crazy things, and I'd like to be able to occasionally bring them up without so much goddamn judgment. I'm just saying, if you got a fresh baby, it would be almost nothing to do it. It's just a thought. I'm not advocating for it. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm just saying when it comes to easy things, it's like a hot knife through butter. But it's snapping a baby's neck.
I mean,
I know I'm right, and this is one of those times.
But it's one of those things you can't prove.
Right, but I think we don't even need to have it proved. We all know, like if you don't hold a baby's neck, I think it basically breaks.
Right,
when they're like fresh newborn, right out the pussy.
fresh mozzarella in 30 minutes. You pull them out of the water,
and I'm like, now my mouth is covered in hot cheese.
Now my mouth is filled with hot cheese and baby.
And I was like, is this vegan? And you were like, I don't know.
You're like, I don't fucking know, man. It's baby.
I think it's not an animal
per se.
Yeah, I'm like, so you're vegan, but you eat babies, and you're like, yeah, it's fucked up.
It's a big loophole.
Can't eat animals. It's sad. I love animals. They just don't know. A baby kind of knows that I'm gonna eat it.
You catch me eating animals. You're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, see, I do this thing because animals either think they're people or they're animals. If they think they're people, I don't eat them. But if they think they're animal, no, if they think they're animals, I don't eat them. But if they think they're people, I do eat them.
So it's just you interviewing a cow for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like,
giving it a baseline test, and then I'm suddenly like, well, all right.
Yeah, just immediately shoot it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you didn't have to be so graphic as I'm breaking a newborn child's neck.
As you're breaking a baby's neck, and I'm just like, what's your big issue? As I'm just cutting the cow's throat and draining all the blood out.
Real grotesque things.
You're just like spinning it around like a broken stick shifter.
Yeah. What we need is Mythbusters ballistic gel in my life. For like, if I could get my hands on some ballistic gel for Christmas or something, I got like months of activity.
Who's that director? Ballistic Gel Torso.
Yeah, if we could get ballistic gel torso. I have some real complaints with how he did the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie.
He only produced it. He didn't make it.
The things that were made in it were fucking incredible. I don't like him. He makes bad movies. I'm gonna say it. My two hot takes: you can easily snap a baby's neck with little to no effort, and Gilmore Girls del Toro is a piece of shit. And I heard he snapped a baby's neck with no effort just to see how it would look in a movie that he's making. That's very upsetting.